identity. Nigerian women, East African women, women from Ghana, they have no cultural identity. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean. You see, I work in an industry which is information technology. In information technology, there is one country that really stands out when you talk about information technology, and it's India. Indians, for some weird reason, I don't know how they got into that thing in the historical, the cultural context. Everybody maybe went in for IT. The whole country made a powerful reference to IT, just like China made a huge push into industrialization that deals with tools. The idea of having the tools to make a car or make a shoe, heavy industrialization that they can use to serve the world. India went into this heavy thing about information technology. In my 12 years of working in information technology, everywhere I go, it's loaded with Indians. If the information technology, for example, if a place has maybe 20,000 workers, I'm talking about a huge place, in which maybe 10,000 of their workers are engineers, software engineers, computer engineers, so on and so forth. I can assure you that of the 10,000, 9,500 will be Indians. So what has been my exposure there? Indian women. They're the one, they're 4 feet, some of them little 4 feet, things, small things that are making dream money. They came direct from their village into the system and they're making 180,000, 190,000, 200,000 dream money. But there's a strange thing I notice about them. As they come to work, they're wearing their native wear. That thing that they tie and hang on their neck with that dot here. Another strange thing I've noticed about them is you will never ever, for all my years, I stayed in the United States, I was born here. In all my years of staying here, you'll never hear the Indian women dragging their men to the American court system for divorce. It is our women that use the American court system to destroy our men. They bring the court in to help them destroy the men. You will never hear Indian women doing that thing. You will never hear women from China taking Chinese men into the American court system to destroy them with divorce. You will never hear women from Korea dragging their men in huge numbers into the American court system to destroy them. But when it comes to African women, East Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, when it comes to African women, they just drag their men into the court system. One of the things that I noticed in this system or in this problem is poverty. Bring these Indian women, they're making 150,000, 180,000. They don't drag their men into court. Plus, sometimes, like in most places, all the places I've ever worked in information technology, they'll have one car. Not that I'm supporting that behavior, but there's something strange on why I see them. They have one car. They wait for their husbands. Even if their husbands are working 2 hours overtime, over their time, they'll wait. Some of them pregnant, waiting for their husbands. When it's finished, they go into the same car with their husband and drive home. I watch Indian women and women from so many other places. They're not crazy about the Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all the designers wears. They are not even interested. Indian women, I meet them. They've been here 15 years, 20 years. They still keep their accent. They still speak as if they're living in India. But when I meet our women, and our women, all that they have to do is just get to a level of where they're making 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 or 80,000 a year. I'm talking about small money. Small money. Immediately the marriage is in danger. And they change. They start bleaching. And they start talking, sure, yeah, sure. Yeah, oh my God, I went to New York. And I'm like, even I who was born here, I don't speak like that. I look at others like the Chinese. They can't speak English very well. And their women may be driving very expensive cars that belong to their husbands. And I look at the Indian women who don't speak English very well, and they're not interested in changing their accent or their undertone. And they wear their native dress, that thing, and everything to work. I look at Korean women. I look at other women. They have this sense of cultural identity. African women do not have a sense of cultural identity whatsoever. Little money, and the marriage is over. One thing I've discovered, a common trend, once the women they go, nurse, 80,000 is all they need to make. And suddenly your marriage is in danger. They want to call the shots. They want to be the ones that control everything. And if you don't like it like that, they'll bring in the American courts to destroy your life, destroy everything around you. They will insult you. And I'm like, 80,000 is all that it takes for someone to change. Or 70,000, because most of them, even the 80,000 is overtime. They've worked themselves Sunday, Saturday night, Sunday nights. They've worked themselves to death. That money that they make as overtime is what is now changing into something that they will destroy everything around them. the part that I see also is that a lot of, and I remember whenever I make my videos, I refer to bitch ass men. Bitch ass men. It has come to a point where we really can't define marriages in the African context anymore in the United States, because the man is changing diapers, he's washing the plates, he's sweeping the floor, he's cooking. Most men now have to cook to keep their marriages intact. He's picking the kids and dropping them. Like in what, like I've seen the experiences. I don't need to go far. I don't want to go too, you know, but the woman is shouting at them, where's the child's belt? Where's the child's socks? Where's the child's everything? And the women go around telling everybody, we are partners. There's nothing like head of the household. We are partners. Okay. So the men are doing everything in the women's role and also doing everything in their role, and they also keep their jobs. And that is supposed to be the perfect. If you don't do like that, they'll call American court on you. This partner thing, I've seen people try it, and it leads to disaster. Like he says, okay, so since I'm the one doing the laundry and washing the plates and cooking the food, can you help me change that bulb? No, that's a man's job. Okay, can you help me change the engine oil in the car? No, that's a man's job. Okay, can you help me paint the other? No, it's a man's job. The women are quick to tell you what's a man's job, but you must do your job and do their job now, and do their job and keep your job also in the society, and come back and still, even there's no respect. You are supposed to be submissive, or the marriage ends on your head. And when you look into it, she started making $80,000. And I compare that with the Indian women who make 150,000, 160,000, 180,000. And don't forget, this is India, where they kill. I mean, a woman just saying no to the husband, they start the honor killings. The men are not romantical, they're hardcore. They are very, very, they are very, very hardcore. The way they order their families about and their women about. They are not romantic. They are not taking their women to Dubai. They are not buying Louis Vuitton and expensive perfumes and undies for their women. They are not doing any of that. And when they come to work, they're smelling of turmeric and all those things that they put in their food. Their men don't spray. I mean, some of them, they come and I see the same jeans, the same shirt for years. But their women stick to them with the kind of money they're making. Even the Hispanic women, I look at them, their men are poor. I mean, they all cross from the desert now into this town. They cross from desert, enter this town. I've seen some real dirty, nasty Hispanic women with drop-dead, gorgeous Hispanic women. The women don't leave their men. The same story, we crossed from the desert, came here together, we're sticking together to the bloody end. But when it comes to African women, all they need is just make a little money, and they've turned the marriage upside down. And there are bitch-ass men who will support that behavior. In fact, those women are more celebrated here than even married women. You see a man, if he wants to do his birthday party or his child dedication ceremony or burial or anything, he's inviting all the divorcees who threw their husbands out of the house. They have so much honor. In fact, so many people are calling them and congratulating them for throwing out their husbands out of the house. And sometimes when you go into investigation of why the men, the bitch-ass men, are supporting that, is because there's a competition. Africans in America compete to the point of death here in America. Which car someone is driving, which kind of house someone is driving, which kind of job. That's why Africans, it's better you stay away from Africans here. So since everybody's competing, if the woman can turn her house upside down and destroy it, she's already done the job for the man's enemies out there. They are applauding her. They now call her for parties and call her to come and drink in their house. And then there's the part two. When they throw their everything away, a clock starts ticking, a timing clock. Who is going to be the first guy to fuck her? Now that she's on her own, now that she's single, now that she's by herself. And it leads to a proverb from my area. There's this famous proverb from my area. They say that there's nothing as shameful as a big woman to uncover white hair for small boys to enter. White hair. Small boys will enter, come back with stories how they slap that ass, how they shaked it up and how they run it around and stuff like that. And you'll be like, and in her mind, she's